this second part of the Unity real life examples training, we're going to see how we can create an animation of an object and then randomize that animation. So if we have a couple of objects in the scene, they don't animate in the same way, so they have randomized animation, sorry. uh, I forgot to mention in the previous video that you can download the project files for this tutorial. You can find the link below the video in the about section, so please download the I will be exporting the packages for every tutorial, so you'll be able to just right mouse in the project section in the project view window, import package, custom package, and then find the package and import it. So this is what you will see for project 2. You have start the tutorial, you have end tutorial. You have to work in the start tutorial. I will work in the end tutorial, so you will receive everything that I'm doing here in the end tutorial folder. So if you're stuck somewhere, you can check the scripts and everything. So in this training we'll be doing animation of a cube made in Unity. We're not going to import anything. So let me just position the camera in a way so we can see the cube better in the game view, and I'm going to uh, make the camera and the light smaller, so we don't I'm actually going to hide the light. Now what we need is we're going to create one more folder here, animations. We're going to select the cube, go to the animation window and go to add curve. I'm going to project 2, end tutorial, animations, cube spin 01. I'm going to show you two examples. The first example is where you have more than one animation and you can choose between them. The second option will be where you have only one animation and make randomized value for it. Now we're going to choose transform, rotation, add the rotation, go to curves. So this is what we have. What we're going to do is we're going to add simple rotation of the cube. So for half a second, 30 frames, we're going to rotate the cube at 90 degrees. At the beginning it will be negative 90 degrees, and at the end it will be negative 90 degrees as well. So you can see that the cube spins, but when it goes to the half of the second it slows down slowly and then turns back, but when it's at the end and at the start it like hits. So we can fix that by simply selecting the two start and end keys, right mouse and choose flat. This way you have smooth motion for the whole animation. So this is what it ends up. Now we have to remember that we started from negative 90. We're going to 90 and then go back to negative 90. Now turn off the recording, go to this button here where it's where the animation is listed, and create a new clip. I'm going to project through and tutorial animations, cube spin 02. We are going to add curve, rotation again, and this way this time we're going to make animation from, for example, 45, negative 45, and 45 again. This way we're going to flatten the curves again. So we have, actually I'm going to, yeah, there will be slower animations, there will be faster animations, and so on. So this animation is done. Now again, create new clip, project, animations, cube 0 3, add curve, transform, rotation. We're going to go with -65 up to 65. Oops, -65 at the end, and at the middle we'll type 65. And we're actually going to start with positive value, so let's change this 65. Yeah, we have to go to the end, and for the middle -65. Actually, yeah, so we have different animations. Flatten the curves, and we're going to add one more animation which says cube spin 0 4, add rotation curves. And this way, this time we're going to use let's say 55 and 65 here, 55 65, and here we're going to go with -55 and -65. Now we're going to have a little bit different animation here. Okay, that's fine. Now Unity is automatically adding all these animations. We assume in this project that we need to adjust these animations at start, so we're not going to change them in play mode. So we can start by creating a script. Again, it will be a JavaScript cube random animation JS. Let me select the cube anim, and I'm going to move it in the prefabs, so we have it as a prefab. We have to deselect apply root motion because we don't need it. And now we're going to add the script to the cube. Double click on it. Let me resize the window so you can see everything. Script, attach it to the cube for randomizing the animations. Public variables and private variables. We need, as always, private variable transform that will hold the transform of the object. We need private variable animator that will hold the animator of the object. We need private, actually we're going to make it public variable number animations. This here we will specify the number of the animations that we want to randomize between. In the awake function, we're going to initialize the transform. We're going to store the animator. Now we in the start function, as I said, we assume that we'll be adjusting this only at start, so we're not going to We're not going to change it in real time in while the game plays. So what we need actually to do is go to the animation and create one more clip, which will be cube empty. We're going to add rotation, and we don't need the end curve, we just need one keyframe here. So we're going to the animator, we have this cube empty, right click and set it as default clip. Now we're going to add one parameter, which will be integer animation number. We're going to make transition from the empty to all the different animations, and we're going to say if equals 1, if the anim number equals 1, we're going to start cube spin 1. If the anim number equals 2, we're going to start the second animation. If it equals 3, the third animation, and if it equals 4, the fourth animation. Now in the start function, we're going to do one thing. We're going to use a float value to randomize a number, because the float value gives us a bigger range. So we're going to make a variable that is rand float, not flower float, and we're going to make it float, and it will be equals to random that range, and it will be from 0, actually not from 0 but from 1, because our first animation is going to be equals if it's 1, not 0, so we have to start from 1 up to number anim. But if we're going to say from 1.0, because we want to show it that it have to be a float. Now if we go to Unity and we start the scene, actually uh, let's just for quickly do, yeah, what are these flowers? Okay, let's just quickly print what will be the number. So we have 0.72, okay, and 0.05. Now we should not be, because we didn't add a number here. How many animations we have? 4, so we're going to add 4 here. Apply. So this is applied in the prefab, and then if we play 3.39, 1.72, if we keep this as integers, it will be doing the same numbers a lot of times, because we only have 3 numbers, 1 2 3 4 numbers, 1 2 3 and 4, and it will be the random function will be choosing the same number a lot of times, so we'll have the same animation. So if we keep it at float, we'll have bigger range. And what we're going to do now is we're going to say rand float equals math function that floor to integer. Let me just check quickly something. Yes, the floor to int will return the bigger number from the ones that are the one that we pass. So we're going to say floor to int, and we're going to say rand float. So now if we print rand float, we're going to receive, sorry, we're going to receive integers. Let's play. We have 1, If we play again, we have 2. If we play again, we have 3. Play again, 1. Play again, 2. Yeah, why are they 2 again? We have 1. Now, the thing is that we have 4 animations. But if we keep the script this way, we are never going to reach 4. Or almost never. Like it will be 4 once in a 50,000 times. Or maybe less, but anyway, so if we need to include that 4, what we're going to do is here rand float, actually here where we choose the random number, we're going to choose between one number animation plus 0.99. This way the random number will be between 1.0 and in our case where it's 4, it will be between 1.0 and 4.99, and this way we have a bigger chance of hitting 4. Yeah, we have 4. So because sometimes the random number will be 4 point will be 4.55, and actually it was my mistake that the floor to int is moving to the lower number. So if we have 1.5, it will be it will it will it will make it 1. If we have 2.8, it will make it 2. So if we randomize between 1.0 and 4.99, if we get 4.5, the floor to int will make it 4. So this way we're not going to exceed the animation numbers. And we don't need update here. In the start function, we're going to make animator that set integer. We're going to get the animation number which we want to control, and we're going to control it with the rand float. Remember that that's a float, but we're sending integers here, so we should have no problem doing that. Yes, Unity doesn't give us a problem for animations. And now if we play, we get one animation. Now let's select that cube, apply to the prefab, and duplicate it like few more times. Okay, this is good. I'm going to select the camera and make it so our cubes are visible in the play mode. Now if we play, we get all these different animations. What we can do here is we're going to add speed to the values. So from every cube spin we have to make blend tree, and in this blend tree we're going to put only 2 animations, because you just get the idea. I mean, we don't have to. We're going to add one more parameter here, which will be a float. It will be called speed. We're going to put, this is, let me just rename them, cube spin 1. Okay, we're going to place both cube spins here. We're going to deselect animate threshold, and we're going to use the speed value. The threshold will be here 0.1. We will leave the speed at 0.25, and the second one will be 1, and the speed will be 1. Actually, the second will be 2, and the speed will be 2. So this way, if we select the cube and place it here, you can see that we have speed. Now we're going to do that for all other animations. We're going to throw cube spin 2 here. Same thing, point 1, point 1, 2, 2. We're going to return, do the same here, cube spin 3, cube spin 3, uncheck automated threshold, adjust the values, return, and for the last one, 2 animation fields, cube spin 4, and adjust the values. Okay, now speed. What we have to do is to make randomized speed. Now remember that it's one speed parameter, but every cube has its own 4 animations here. So if we adjust the speed, it will be relative to every cube. So we're going to add private variable speed, which will be float. The speed will be randomized between 0.1 and 2.0, and we're going to control into the animator set float. We're going to say set float. We're going to control the speed parameter with the speed variable, and now we can select the cubes and go to the and switch to debug so we can see the speed parameter. Now I'm going to play. You can see speed of this cube is 1.5. Speed here is 8.6.86. Speed here is, for example, here speed is 1.48. So we have all these cubes with different animations and different speed. Now, the other way that we can do this animation is by simply I'm going to comment this. Actually, I'm going to comment everything here. I will keep it in the script so you can have it. We're going to say, actually not the wake function, I will leave it, only the start function. What we can do is we can randomize again the number random that range. We're going to actually copy the same value from here, and we can do animator that play, and we're going to say the name of the animation. You can use normalized time, which is the thing what we're going to do. Animation that play, we're going to choose, we're going to copy the floor to int variable because we need it here. So we're going to animation play. One moment. So yeah, we have to choose the name. Let me switch back to normal. We have to choose the name of the animation. So we're going to say cube spin 0 plus run float. So we're going to say cube spin 0 plus run float, which run float will be the number that we choose, comma, and we're going to say the layer. Let me just do it here because I have to see. We choose the layer, which will be layer 0, and then the normalized time. Now this is from where the animation have to start. We have from 0 to 1, which is the whole. Your animation could be 20 seconds, but you have from 0 to 1. This is the normalized time for the whole clip. So we can type 0 comma random range, not actually not we have random that range 0 1, and now we will have a randomized animation just by using different time. So if we play, we get a lot of the same motions, but the time is different without choosing actually not the time but the actually first we're going to use only one of the animations, only the first animation. What we have to get is different timing, not timing but different state, but we don't get it because we have to choose float values here because Unity is getting these as integers. So when we make 0 0.0 1.0, it will read them as floats. And now if we play, we're getting the same animation. So we have only one clip. Like every animation is making only the first clip, but you can see that they are animating at different start if you want. So they start with the same animation. So if I choose animation 04, we're going to get different we're going to get our cubes animated with the 4 animation, but all of them will animate with different way. We can of course keep the speed value, so we can say speed equals random dot range 0.1 2.0, and we're going to send that here, and we're going to say animator dot set float speed with the speed variable. And now if we play, we have error, expected to insert yeah. And if we play the scene now, we will have the animation for the clip 4 of our cubes. They will be animating with different timing and with different speed. This way you can randomize one animation only by using only one animation with script. We can of course randomize even the animations by, like I said, we'll keep that at 0 and we'll say plus rand float. This is just another way to randomize the animation and the timing. So some cubes might be spinning with the same animation, and even if I don't randomize the speed, and some objects have the same animations, you see this one and this one have the same animation, but they don't spin the same time, they spin at different timing. So we keep the speed and you have randomized animation of a lot of different objects. Now if I turn off the camera for a moment and I duplicate these and I select them and duplicate them again and play the scene, you can see that all objects are animating in different way. Of course we're using now 4 animations, but we can use only one animation like I showed here. For example, animation 3, and we'll have the same animation but with different speed and different timing. So that's it guys. One more thing just to tell you,